It's time to jump into the luxury imports of Bowling Green, BMW, Mercedes, Sports Webb, with your host, Brian Webb. Also starring Vegas Frank and Against the Odds, brought to you by JBK Network Consulting. Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill presents WKU Lady Tops golf coach and PGA teaching professional Adam Gary in Gary on the Green. It's The Good Fit with Jeremy Harris and Sports Webb baseball analyst Danny Hartong from First Step Orthotics. WKU Sports Analysis with Garrett Browning, plus the Culver's High School Player of the Week. And all phone interviews and guests appear via the Linux of Bowling Green Hotline. Now, from ESPNKY.com, here's your host, Brian Webb.
Baseball's got a few. The pitcher got $1 million, and the quarterback he got $2.
Welcome to the Sports Webb, folks. The Limb is in the studio. Casey Warner, Casey at Bat in studio. Got a great show. I'll run it down real quick before we get out of the gate. Dr. Dre Boyd, Warren Central Dragon, hit the 1,000-point club this week. We got him on as the Culver's High School Basketball Player of the Week. Presented by Culver's Butterburgers. And then also tonight, Vegas Frank goes in-depth with the playoffs. Talk a lot about the Titans, the Tops. You definitely don't want to miss that. Brought to you by JBK Network Consulting. And then we've got Adam Gary on the green today telling you how to hit off those dormy Bermuda fairways. A fan question there. We got the drop tonight. And then coach's pick, Damon Tabor, young lady out of Russell County, star Markham, and she is a star on the court. So you don't want to miss any of this show. But right now, I got the main fellas in here. What's up, Liam?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I miss that voice, Casey.
Oh, yeah, me too, man.
You wish you had that?
Oh, maybe in a few years I'll get
If
that.
I had that, what do we got to do? Smoke 2 packs a
Yeah,
day?
yeah,
I mean,
you got it. Actually,
Be related to Morgan Freeman.
Exactly.
He does sound like Morgan Freeman a little bit.
No, man, it's all good, man. How about you?
Natural. It's always been that way, hasn't it?
Did you have a good holiday? We had kind of a 3-week sabbatical there.
We had a little bit of a sabbatical. I had a great holiday, and we missed you last week. You were out, and we struggled without you, but we got it.
Did you get it through? Sammy's in town from school, so he had a little young lady visitor this week, so it was kind of cool.
Had a house guest.
A little house guest.
Not bad.
Wish she took a lot of naps, man.
These young kids, they do.
They do, dude.
They're like, what's that called? The
Beauty sleep?
Narcoleptic.
Narcoleptics?
I mean,
it's like we're breeding narcoleptics.
I was like, good Lord. I was just like, damn, son. You guys should have lay around a lot.
Speaking of that, my 2 boys a couple years ago were on their way to school in a nice little Honda, and somebody saw it happen. They ran into a ditch that, it really could have hurt them, and they had their seatbelts on, hurt his ankle a little bit, but they just both fell slick out right in the middle of the subdivision. Just fell completely asleep. The guys that they drove by, he looked, and the driver was like, his head was on the window sleeping, and then he looked, and the passenger was
Clark
asleep.
Griswold.
Yeah, it's totally Griswold. Pulled up at the hotel. Well, up and at him.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, we're going to get into some MLB here towards the end of this break. Major League Minute brought to you by First Step Prosthetics and Orthotics, the Limb, and it'll be also featuring Casey at Bat.
Oh,
Casey
yeah.
Warner, 2 baseball guys. I love that because I am not a baseball guy. But we want to start off with the Tennessee Titans going to be rolling into Baltimore to take on one unbelievable Lamar Jackson and a slew of hosts like Mark Ingram. What are you seeing in this? I mean, can they get it done? I guess they could get it done. It's going to be really hard, Danny.
I think it's going to be real hard for him. But I tell you what, the points are 8.5, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot of points. Yeah. But it's not impossible. I mean, they beat the 2 teams that beat them.
Sure did.
They beat the Chiefs and they beat the Browns. So,
that's a great point.
Guess we'll have to see. But you never know. It's hard to say. Those guys have been off for a while. They might be a little rusty. It's hard.
That's true.
It's a little be pretty cool though. I mean, I'd love to see them go in and beat them in their home.
Well, we talked about it last week, Danny, and I really just didn't see the Patriots being able to beat. You take no one rusher in there, and that defense, as good as it was all year, had fallen a little bit short because they've been having to do all the work for the last 6 weeks, 7 weeks.
They're tired to beat up.
They're tired, and they took advantage of that Vrabel took advantage of it. But,
Vrabel took advantage of his being under Belichick too by using that
clock
loophole.
What about
The
that?
clock trick.
I love the
What
clock.
about that delay a game? And then he changed it up and put a man in motion
Yeah.
because you can't
Oh,
do
yeah.
it back to back.
Oh man, that
Brilliant. And the look on Belichick's face.
he was not happy.
A few choice words there, too.
Quite angry.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah. Yeah, I was looking at him. I went,
yeah.
oh, my.
And the paramedics should have been close to him because he was about to explode. So I don't know, man. Like you said, going into Baltimore, they're plus 8.5.
8.5. Yeah.
I like the points.
I do, too.
I do,
I actually
too.
do like the
Totally.
points. It's going to be a tough haul, but that's one team you can run on. Baltimore's better,
Oh, yeah.
better D-backs as far as the passing game, but hey, Ram old
Old Derrick Henry.
down their throat all day
yeah.
long. If he can do that and sustain drives like that, and eat up the clock, they got a shot.
I just getting ready to say, if they can eliminate the ability of the Ravens to just suck the life out of the clock,
Well, yeah,
because they can just control it.
Keep Lamar Jackson off the field,
and make him scramble, make him
Yeah.
have to throw.
Oh, yeah.
Because then you got a shot at maybe an
exactly
interception,
a nice
takeaway.
pick or something like that. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what the Titans are gonna have to do to get out of there with a win. I love the Tennessee Titans. They're my second team. But if as a betting man, I'm gonna have to take. If I was gonna do money line, I would probably take the Ravens. But hey, I'll take that 8.5 all day long.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty good line. I mean, all the lines are pretty high except for the Seattle line, which was
That's 4.
4, I think,
Yeah.
is what it was. But
Well, what about some of these other games? Who thinks?
I love the Chiefs.
Yeah, I like
Love
They're
the Chiefs.
rolling, man. They're rolling.
I like the Chiefs.
And-
what the Niners?
Niners,
I think they're for real.
I think they are too, and I'm afraid of old Kirky going in there and laying an egg.
I'm afraid,
and
the
it
same
may
thing.
happen again.
I mean, he
but,
gets his first playoff win. Is he going to
Yeah.
Is he going to go back to back playoff wins? Unlikely.
unlikely, and that's another beast defense there. But
Their front four.
Oh, yeah.
Insane. I mean, they're going to have a lot on their hands.
yeah,
the Vikings.
they're going to have problems. But
I don't see it culminating for them. Well, let's gravitate to some college football because it is time for the national championship. You got two powerhouse teams going against each other. Who do you like in this? And are you a Trevor Lawrence guy or are you?
No, I'm a Joe
thinking
Burrow
LSU?
guy.
Yeah, Joe Burrow, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a JB
You got
guy.
to go with it.
Yeah.
And they're SEC.
And they're SEC.
Of course.
But, Clemson, you can sit there and watch them all year long, watch them beat up on these ACC teams all year long, and they were weak. The ACC was terribly down
Way
this
down,
year.
way
And,
down.
you're looking at a lame Florida State team, Georgia Tech and all the other ones. They just weren't there to give them any kind of game. The only one who did was North Carolina. And, they could have lost that game real easy.
Heck, Louisville finished second in their division.
Yeah.
I mean, what's that tell you? And they were 7-5.
Yeah, exactly. Good point there. But they still rise to the occasion. They still can win. They handled Ohio State pretty darn good. And I thought Ohio State was going to win it all personally. But, we'll see. We'll see how they do. But because old LSU's defense isn't the greatest of them all either. But,
there are some weak spots.
people put up a lot of points on these. They just outscore most of the time.
I
So
will guarantee you the Tigers win this one, though.
I'd love to see it.
I think so, too. Definitely.
Because they're both.
Which one?
Danny had that look on his face. Like, what are you doing? Best coach in this one, Dabo Swinney or Ed Orgeron?
It's Coach O. Come on now.
The best thing I know is chicken on a stick down in Mississippi.
I like to hang out with him for
I
quite a
did
while.
too.
I'm telling you.
When he was down at Ole Miss, my son, he goes, he used to go to this place. It was just a Chevron station. He used to go there every week and get chicken on a stick. And that's all he knows. That's all he said. He knows about Oxford, Mississippi.
And Eli Manning.
Huh?
And he knows about Eli Manning.
Yeah.
He was a
But,
whole gunslinger.
I think Dabo's got the edge there personally,
Yeah,
but
he's a good coach. He's just unbelievable, man.
good coach.
He really is. I'm excited this one. Who do you think is going to have the most offensive production as far as numbers game out of this one? Joe Burrow or the other line?
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence there. The guy looks like some dazed and
I
confused.
tell you what, the way I looked at it was
It's like Casey Warner.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. I think Joe Burrow will. He looks more of pro-style quarterback. And he's very calm, cool, and collective back there. He just gets in the pocket and just starts hitting them.
Cincinnati Bengals going to have a nice.
Man, I would hope
He's
so.
gonna be
They better
if
draft.
they pass
better.
him up, man.
Oh, mercy. They better not.
It'd be like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory just throwing the gold ticket in the garden.
Pretty much.
It'd be like,
Seriously?
Yeah.
I mean,
It'd be
seriously.
like Portland taking Sam Bowie over Michael,
Oh, man.
Michael Jordan
He went
again.
there.
Yep.
Sam Bowie. I did love Sam Bowie.
Yeah. If you could catch him on the court once in a while.
Yeah.
I've never seen a guy get more injured than either him or Greg Oden.
Yeah, the wind could blow. I mean, I think he like stepped on the foul line and got hurt one
Right,
and it's
right.
paint.
Man.
That's hilarious. Well, I tell you, man, let's gravitate. I want to get you guys' final score pick for the national championship. Clemson Tigers, LSU Tigers. What's the final in this one?
LSU 30-24.
I got to go LSU 38, Clemson 28.
Wow.
Wow.
High school.
I'll take that.
We'll have some other picks from Frank. I'm in the 44 to 37.
Wow.
Well, the total in this
Shootout.
one's like 68 and a half.
Yeah, I'm going to take the under.
You going to take the under?
Yeah.
And you
60,
feel,
yes.
you feel confident?
Yeah.
69
I
and
do.
a half. That's
69ish.
what's up.
Yeah, 69 and a half. That's, but you got to think about it though. Here's the X factor in the total on this. You get into a 24 all game, regulation stops.
Right.
You don't know what's going to
that's
happen.
exactly.
It could be 100 points.
Oh, exactly. But I'm going to take the under.
All right,
I think everyone's going to bet the over. I like the under.
I like your way of thinking, Danny. It's time for First Step Prosthetics and Orthotics MLB analysis with none other than the limb on the Baseball Minute featuring our young Casey Warner, Casey at bat. That's what's going on out there in the offseason.
Dude, I'm seeing some stuff right out of the T-shirt he's wearing, man.
Oh, yeah.
White Sox are playing this year.
Making moves.
They are.
Making moves. I'm telling
Huge
you.
moves. I mean, Washington Nationals are not sitting on their laurels. They got Red Rendon, so they picked up a couple new players. They got Eric Thames today for a year's deal, but they picked up some closer pitchers, and they got the closer from Houston last year that gave up the winning home run in Game 7. So they signed him to play on their squad this year. But Atlanta's making a few moves. The big free agents now. Josh Donaldson's looking for a new home. Eric Castellanos looking for a new home. There's going to be some interesting plays this year, and they're trying to deal. I think Colorado's trying to deal. The Reds are making some serious moves. Jason, sorry, Jason. I was just going to get to the Reds, but
It was on the docket.
No, I see more people signing this year than last year as far as free agents. Because last year was just horrendous, and no one was signing anybody. They're all holding out, and people started to panic. But this year's a little more hot, and Cincinnati is picking up some studs over there, man. They got a good. I tell you what. I'm really impressed with that rotation they got going there, picking up Rourke and all
Nasty
that. Nasty
boys. Huh?
Yeah, exactly, man. But it should be interesting the next few weeks because pitchers and catchers report in 6 weeks. So.
Can't wait.
Crazy.
I know.
Isn't that crazy? Talk about who you guys think is going to emerge this year. Like, a few years ago, the Cleveland Indians, and then the Nationals this year doing what we didn't think they could. Who's going to be that team?
I was putting dirt on the Nationals in May, and I picked them to win it. Win the National League. And in May, I was down here spouting off that we were throwing dirt on the grave, but they came back and they came back second half, and they just were power out. But I'll tell you something. I think the New York Yankees have a good shot to win it this year if they stay healthy. They hired a brand new trainer there because of. The guy that was running it, he's the emeritus trainer now, and he was a great one forever and ever. But they had too many injuries last year and too slow coming back, and way too much money. So they had $110 million sitting on their bench.
No excuse.
And it
for
was
that.
ridiculous. But they picked up Garrett Cole, which is huge. They needed a number one pitcher there so bad. and that can enhance Severino and help those guys out a little bit more. And plus they got some of the best closers there are in the game. But I like them. I hate to say this, I like the Dodgers again this year, but they better do something to bolster that. And the A's are making some moves by picking up Rendon along, keeping old Mr. Trout there. That should be a lot of fun. And they're all trying to scatter up some pitching. That's all everyone's looking for that. But I don't know. It's going to be a strange year this year because
wide open.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of people repeating this year. I'd love to see the White Sox emerge out of the Central because they're really got some good young arms
prospects,
there.
Man.
Oh, mercy, yeah.
Kopech. Luis Robert signing that contract. I mean,
Kopech's healthy finally too.
Finally, love to see him. He's a phenom.
Yeah.
Jose Abreu's back.
Abreu's back. Yeah.
Tim Anderson, hey,
got
a lot of young talent.
And they got Keuchel.
Yep. It's going to be a fun season. Embrace the rebuild.
Exactly.
Was, the idea a few years back. But, hey, we're ready to contend now. I'm ready for it. So.
I bet you are because I tell you what, I don't see Minnesota winning 100 games this year. I think they're going to deflate a little bit down to the lower 90s. But Kansas City's not making much of a move. Detroit's not making much of a move. In my eyes, but I'd love to see Chicago come out of the Central. It'd be a nice change of pace.
It definitely would. The Indians, they've been up there the past few years, too.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Indians, though? You think
they still got the arms. Clevenger, they're trying to deal Clevenger a little bit, but I think he'll probably end up staying there. And in Minnesota, like I said, they have some arms, but they picked up a couple of, new arms there. They picked up the great Homer Bailey.
Oh, goodness. Journeyman.
Perfect segue. We got a caller, and I called him. What's up, Red Legs Radio Report, Jason Harbison?
Oh, Danny, what are you doing there, man?
What are you doing, brother?
Oh, my gosh. I had to call in because I heard you talking just briefly about the Reds. I just kind of glossed over them and just what the great moves that they're making in this off season.
It wasn't a gloss over. They bolstered that rotation. And
that's true, very true. Well, you look at signing Moustakas and everything, and yesterday they just signed this Japanese guy for 3 years. Akiyama. We're pronouncing his name wrong.
I'm gonna do it like Harry Carey does. Akiyama Jose. But 3 years, $21 million is pretty cheap.
Considering
a
what
guy gets 20 pops a year out of his bat, and he bats about 340. Let's hope he can come out and be the next Ichiro.
Yeah, they were saying that they're wondering if he can hit major league pitching. Making that transition from the Japanese league. But I don't know. Those numbers, like you're saying, they don't lie. But it's a bargain. 3 years, $21 million. That's in today's standards, that's pretty much a bargain, especially in the free agent market for him to come.
Looks like one of your check stubs.
Yeah, exactly. But that's a setup guy's salary. Come on, man. You get a guy at the top of the order, and then I think I'll tell you what. I think they're going to get old Nick Castellanos. I really still think they're going to land him there, and that would be a nice power bat there. But that pitching is going to be a lot of fun to watch this year. But
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And what a great segue, Danny, that next Friday the Reds are actually coming to the Greenwood Mall, and they're bringing Sonny Gray with them. Yes.
Really?
Danny, you got to stay over that Friday night.
I think I'll stay up there and come on out there. That'd be a lot
of
fun.
You can hang back there, and you get to talk to them while they're waiting to go up with Jay. I've met Billy Hamilton, all kinds of guys.
Is he still playing?
He's playing. I'm not sure what team he's on now, but
he's still good.
Yeah, he's still got the speed, that anybody would want, especially down the stretch.
He's got about 50, isn't he?
Hey, Jason, does my man Casey Warner's White Sox have a shot this year?
They've been making a lot of moves in the offseason, too. I was going to say between the White Sox and the Reds, those are the two teams that are making the most, ripples in the water, so to speak. As far as the free agent market, for two teams that don't normally go out and get a lot of free agents, both of them are just kind of against the grain of their normal way of doing things. So, yeah. Definitely.
Well, Rick Hahn, he has the money to do it. He just doesn't spend it. Come on, Cincinnati's got to have dough.
Yeah, they got to.
When are they going to get rid of Votto, though, man?
Yeah,
Ooh, you're
rough
going-
season.
Never.
Rough season last year.
Mercy.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're talking right about my co-host Todd's favorite wheelhouse. They're talking about Votto and just the contract that goes along with him and how they're just kind of crippled with him and the contract that he's got. So
That's what's killing him.
yeah, they're still waiting for his big breakout year after his 2010 MVP year, which seems like 100 years ago, even though it was only 10.
Well, it
Yeah.
was only 10.
Only 10.
Wait a minute. I'm going to make sure I got this right. I know you're a White Sox guy, and I'm thinking you're a Red Sox
Yeah,
guy.
I'm a Red Sox guy.
Ooh.
All right.
What
So
news,
I
what
want to hear
disturbing
you
news.
three guys propose what your team's final record out of 160-plus games. And we'll start with you, Jason. The Cincinnati Redlegs, what are they going to finish up, and are they going to make a run in the postseason?
Well, I was told there'd be no math, so I don't really know what like the exact
goodness.
math for 162 would be. But they're going to be a lot. They're going to probably be in that wild card spot. They're not going to win the division, but they'll be definitely getting one of those spots for the wild card within the Central Division. So that's my prediction. I don't think they're going to set the world on fire, but they're going to surprise a lot of people this year.
I like that, Harbison. I really do,
Yeah.
man. I could see them finishing, with at least 87, 88 wins.
What are the Sox going to do?
Sox.
What are the Sox?
They're going to finish third.
Ooh, I like that's
in the
probably
AL East.
exactly where they're going to be.
They're going to ditch Mookie Betts.
I love Mookie, though.
I do too, man. But they can't hold on to his salary anymore, and they're just their pitching. Excuse me, stinks.
Scallywag.
Terrible. They got to get rid of Price. I mean, but I don't see them finish anything higher than third, like what they did last year, personally. And I like the Yankees out of the East this year.
What about that other Chicago team, the White Sox? What are they going to do, Casey?
Man, the Chicago team, they're getting 90 wins this year. I'm going to say 90. I'm going to say, look, 90 and 72.
Wow.
I think they're going to pull out the first wild card spot, and they're going to shock some people in the playoffs.
Shock the world without Frank Thomas?
Look, just like that 05 team, nobody in 05 thought they were going to do anything.
Frank Thomas coming out of retirement?
Look, nobody thinks this team's going to do anything. Give us a shot, man. We can make a run in the playoffs. Just
90.
watch.
That's a lot, man.
Oh, Harbison, we're up against it just like Feinbaum. I got to take a break. But here, man, tell Danny and all the listeners, Caravan, where to be and what time to get there.
Well, it's actually not this coming Friday, but the following Friday out at the Greenwood Mall. And I believe it's going to be in the kind of the J.C. Penney wing there. We're going to set up some tables, and the reps are going to be coming down. You can get free autographs. Doesn't cost a thing, and they'll actually answer your questions. And we're going to be doing our show live. It actually starts around 2:30 our time, and we'll go until about 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Sweet. Always a great time. Appreciate it. Jason Harbison, Redlegs. Catch them every Saturday morning coming up soon. At 9 a.m. They'll be back at it. And I want to thank Casey Warner tonight and the Limb. Always a pleasure. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with some great stuff. You're listening to 102.7. Take us out.
You said we're a team. One person struggles, we all struggle. One player triumphs, we all triumph, right?
It's time for Culver's High School Basketball Player of the Week. Visit Culver's, 4903 Scottsville Road, for some delicious burgers.
Culver's Basketball Player of the Week. Visit Culver's on Scottsville Road. Get a butter burger. I bet DeAndre Boyd eat a butter burger if I brought one. Man, I tell you what, we've talked about it. He was my first football this year, my first Culver's player. After that crazy game at Apollo, we got to come see him, and I got to touch him and see him in the raw, the real deal. He is the real deal. Dre Boyd, DeAndre Boyd out here, Warren Central Dragon basketball. Man, I tell you, first of all, when you played a little football, did you like it as much as basketball?
Oh, yeah, it was fun. Yeah, I like football. I played football first when I was younger, so it was fun to get back out there and play. And now it's back to basketball and back to business, so.
I love seeing you on the hardwood. It's just you flow out there. It's seamless. I mean, you're always in the right spot. You're always looking to advance and get the ball, steal it, shoot it, whatever. Dre Boyd can do it. Just entered the 1,000-point club here at Central. How'd that feel?
Good. It was a good achievement. Trying to get there before Kobe, but he got it a little bit earlier. Got it last year, so just fun to go at Kobe and see who can finish with more points.
Yeah, that's true. And you're not one to just shoot it to be shooting it either. You shoot a high percentage shot. And that's how you get there, by making those ones that you feel good about, not just shooting to be shooting. Dre, how do you feel about Dragons' defensive play on the other side of the ball? How y'all doing on D?
We picking it up, but we got a long way to go, and we know that, so just got to get in practice and get better at it every day, and just whenever we get there, get where we got to get to, everybody be more surprised whenever we as good as we going to get.
Coach Big Willie Unseld, let me ask you this. He's probably got a common theme, maybe week to week. What was the theme this week at practice so far?
Defense and rebounding, and just running up and down the floor and just running the other team down and just doing what we best at, and just everybody learning their roles, just a bunch of stuff that we got to fix before it gets too late to fix whenever it's almost close to March.
Absolutely. We know what that means. That means district play right before that, and then a chance to go to that state championship, state tournament. Man, I tell you, I'd love to see you guys right back at it in the 4th region this year. I think you'll be right there with the chance to move on. But anything less than that, Coach just probably preaching, let's start getting these district wins.
Yes, sir. Just trying to get back on the road. We just took this 2 losses during Christmas, so it's trying to get back on the road and get back into district play, come with some dubs.
Yeah, no, that's great, man, and I'm glad that y'all play that kind of ball during the holidays there, because it keeps you in tune. It keeps you guys in tune, and you learn some stuff when you're facing some different schools. So yeah, there's a learning situation there. Dre, what's your favorite thing about b-ball before I let you get out of here, man?
About basketball?
Yeah.
Just playing. Just going out there and just having fun. It's just fun sport to play.
See, here's the thing. Back when I was young, people talked a lot out there on the court. Do you guys see that happening these days in high school basketball? Is it under the breath out there, or is there a little bit of that going on when you're especially up against a rival?
Well, I used to, but I had to calm it down a little bit. The refs don't tolerate it as much now as they used to.
Oh, no, well, you're growing, you're older, you're more mature, and those things do come around. And, man, I think you do a great job out there. I'm a big fan, Dre, and look forward to seeing where the Dragons take it this year.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Out here at Warren Central, finishing up Culver's Basketball Player of the Week, Dr. DeAndre Dre Boyd, right here, right now. I'll be right back on the Sports Web.
Play like winners, act like winners. You put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential to be the best that you can be. In my book, we're going to be winners.
You will all get better. You'll get better because you make each other better.
It's time for the Coach's Pick, brought to you by Oak Tree Awards and Recognition at 318 Morgantown Road in Bowling Green. Oak Tree Awards and Recognition, more than sports trophies. Call 270-843-6024.
You heard it right there. Time for another Coach's Pick on the Sports Web, brought to you by Oak Tree Awards and Recognition, Morgantown Road. Much more than trophies. Got him on the Linex hotline. Coach, principal, Damon Tabor, owner, proprietor, Air Force. Oh, he's done it all. What's up, Coach?
Just enjoying the day. The boys kicked me out of the store.
You need a little break every now and then, buddy. Y'all are a machine over there. Well, we got a great coach's pick tonight coming out of Russell County. Tell us about her, Coach.
Star Markham. I guess you can say she stars.
She is a star.
And she plays wherever they need her. That she can handle the ball. She can go inside and post up. She's averaging 15 points a ball game and then double figures in rebounding. And she goes forward. She's very aggressive. I've seen her get her own rebound several times. But she's a leader on the floor, and she wants that basketball. And she's helping Russell, I think. But you said they only have 3 losses.
Yeah, 11-3. Man, that's a great record.
So they're they got a good ball club, and they keep improving, especially with her playing the way she's playing. They may be a threat in the region before it's over with.
I guarantee. And it seems like Russell County Lakers always show up with a team. I mean, it's like every year that seems like they get down here and always go fairly deep, usually. Sure, they like to get one. Well, with Star Markham, it sounds like they got a heck of a shot. And Julia Balt and Cheyenne Elkins, Hannah Yates, a few of the other notables there that are double-figure scoring. That's pretty amazing when you got 3. But you said Star could really just play about anywhere.
I've seen her play basically at one time and have kept up with her, but she can bring the ball down the floor. She plays good defense. Get her in a situation where she'll actually take you inside and post you up.
Mm-hmm.
But the rebounding, she just goes to the boards. I guess she sees that her skills are needed, and she's skillful, but she plays hard. That's what I like about her.
Well, way to go, and we'll be looking forward to seeing her in action and EA Diddle possibly in March, Coach. I saw it in there in the store. Everyone can come take a look at it before they buy it if they want to, but it's setting out. It's the Kentucky High School Basketball Encyclopedia, and this thing has just about everything all the way back to 1926. I don't know how they put this together, but what a great job. And you can purchase this, I would think, at a discounted price for that price, because this is like, a book you put up on the shelf and show off. Tell us a little bit about them, Coach, and where people can pick it up.
Well, I actually sat at home last night and went through it. But if a person loves high school basketball in the state of Kentucky, you can find every high school that's been in the state of Kentucky, who the coach was, what the years, what their records were, what the scores were in the district tournament, who they played and how far they went. Go to the regional tournament, goes to the state tournament. So, I mean, it's detailed. The gentleman has spent hours and hours. He had some help, but the book was published in 2018, so it's very well done. Got some pictures of some old gyms.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome.
Oh, so it's got boys and girls. It's got Littenhouse ratings. It's got King of the Bluegrass. It's got you name it, it's there. But it's even got the every school in the state of Kentucky had basketball. It's there.
It is.
And
I mean, it goes through
amazing.
district play, region, and it's got state tournament play. I mean, it's unreal.
But it goes back and just for the heck of it, I went back, graduated in 1967, so I went back to Mumfordville, and I saw, and of course I had a lot to do with this now. No, but our senior class, we finished 22-7 at Mumfordville. So, that gives you the details and
crazy.
The coaches, and it's amazing. And like I said, if you love the Kentucky basketball and you want the history,
you gotta have it.
This is a book. It's only $50.
I didn't believe you when you said that's all it was, because this thing, that's $100 book, the binding and everything. I mean, it is something that you could, put on your table at home and show off. I mean, it is super. Just one of the things you can get at Oak Tree Awards. So stop by there, Morgantown Road, let Coach show you this, or Tyler or Bradley, and purchase one of these if you're a high school basketball freak. So this is a book you have to have. You can't. It'll be your Bible. Coach, appreciate you so much every Tuesday knocking out this. We got a long way to go too. A lot of basketball. Looking forward to doing this week after week and getting some notoriety for some of these young ladies, buddy. Appreciate it, Oak Tree.
Oh, looking forward to it and enjoy doing this.
Get in there and get that high school Bible at Oak Tree Awards. We'll be right back on the Sports Web, ESPN 102.7, 104 The Score.
Hello, Vegas. Give me $100 on red.
Go! $200 in chips, please.
Are you a professional?
What's your bet, sir? Bet. Hit me.
It's a bust.
Whoa! I am on fire.
Oh, he's good. He's good.
You're a winner!
Against the Odds with Vegas Frank is brought to you by JBK Network Consulting. JBK Network Consulting. We are IP everything. Working with complex organizations to achieve measurable business outcomes is what we do. Let Jim Grant and JBK Network Consulting go to work for you. Call 270-796-8935. Visit JBK Network Consulting at 1143 Fairway Place, Suite 105, and online at jbk.net.
Welcome back to the Sports Web. Vegas Frank on the Linex hotline. Linex Bedliners, Roger Gina, get over to the Louisville Road, Porter Pike intersection. They will take care of the bed of that truck. We are joined on the Linex hotline with one and only Vegas Frank against the odds, Las Vegas, Nevada. And we got a Texas boy in the house, Hunter Smith, WBKO Sports. Welcome, guys. Appreciate you both.
Thanks for having me on again, Brian.
Good to be here with you guys.
Always, guys, always. Let's talk some sports. We got a short time to do it, and we're like the Bandit headed across country. A long way to go, short time to get there. Hey, let's start with the national championship, because to me, that's the hot story right now. I mean, to me it is. You got two insanely good quarterbacks, one Heisman Trophy winner, headed into this thing. I mean, guys, could we have scripted this any better?
I certainly don't think so.
No, because Clemson seemed to be a playoff team from the beginning of the season, and we've been talking about the story that Burrow's been on and the story that LSU has kind of been on this whole season. So
it couldn't have been written any better for the two of these guys to be playing, two quality guys and two really good programs. This is going to be fun. Like you kind of said off air, I mean, a Tiger will win.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a Tigers to lose, too.
That's a lock.
That is a lock. 100%er right there, like we got the Titans last week, Frank. Let's talk about this. Two quarterbacks that are more than capable and will be playing at the next level for sure. But, Joe Burrow throws it a lot, man. 5,200 yards this year. Trevor's got he's no slouch, but he's only completed X amount of passes for about 3,400. So as far as game totals on offense, I feel like Burrow's probably going to have the better numbers, Dave. What about you?
This has been a ridiculous. The jump that they made from last year offensively to this year, Burrow just sort of evolving. That worked in the off season with his receivers. His receivers too. We talk about Burrow's production. These receivers, Jefferson and these guys, even the tight end Moss, Randy's boy. They've gone to another level, and the production overall has just been ridiculous. Burrow is a special guy, but I mean, all these guys have sort of made a jump forward, and it's a credit to Joe Brady's offense. Coming over to LSU, they've made major strides. This has been really fun for them to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, just like you said, that transition from last season to this season, I don't think anyone really. I mean, to make a jump like this is just absolutely incredible. Because I saw LSU and A&M play last year, and it's night and day in terms of the offensive production.
No, absolutely, it's another level. I mean, Burrow's bought in. I mean, if you ask him, I mean, he's always assumed that he'd be able to do this. The guy is just so calm and cool. I mean, almost he has like, I don't want to say dead eyes, but I mean, he's just like, he would be a great poker player because he has no reaction. I'm always thinking about gambling, but he's always got that reaction. His face is just stone cold, like a killer, and it's just, he's so fun to watch, and I mean, he's so calm under pressure. It's really cool.
And kind of like you said, he does have that appearance that he this is expected of him. He expects this of himself, so it's no shock.
Absolutely not.
Frank, what's it looking like as far as looking up at the betting board? What are the numbers on this one, total and spread on the old Tiger versus Tiger? They should have Tiger Woods be the guy that does the coin toss. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean the total is a little high, but I mean they're probably going to hit it. The total now is like 68.5, 69.5.
Wow.
And the line is LSU minus 5.5. This is going to be a game that's going to be in the 30s. I mean, as good as the defenses have played, I mean these offenses are otherworldly. They're going to spread the ball around a lot. There's going to be a lot of points scored, and I mean they're probably going to hit that 69.5 or 68. They're going to be in that 70-point total range. And then as far as the line goes, I would probably take the points. If you're thinking Clemson at all to keep the game close, I think that this is going to be a close game. It's going to come down to the end. So if you're getting 5.5, the line really isn't going to move that much. Remember, we have another week, another like 5-6 days before this game plays. So it could move a little bit. It's not going to move much. So that 5.5 is a nice number. If you like it, jump on it now.
No, I think a lot of the attention in this game is surrounding these two offenses, but I think it's really going to come down to it's going to be a close game. But what defense can make a stop at the end when they need to,
or a big takeaway like a nice interception or something fumble, like a pick six, sack. A fumble recovery. Who's going to be able to? That's a perfect point, Hunter. That is going to decide this game, and it could even be a special team situation. Something like that it's going to take that for us to be able to crown a winner in this thing, because neither one of these teams are going to give up to the last second. So
absolutely,
and they're both able to score in a matter of a minute. So I mean, they can get it down the field in a minute.
I want to see an onside kick on the opening kickoff.
And
that'd be great.
Ever since the Saints did that in the Super Bowl in 2009, I'm just like, all right, I'm always wanting to see that again.
That's funny. All right, I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and we'll move on from the national championship. I was going to say, first of all, I want you guys to give me your score predictions on this one. But best coach in this one, who's got the upper hand on the clipboard?
Oh, I gotta go with Dabo on that one.
Yeah, I would lean towards Dabo too. He's got the experience, been in the playoffs multiple times. I would lean towards Dabo.
All right, let's hit final scores. I'll start it off. 44-41 LSU.
I'm going to go 38-34 Clemson. Wow. I can't bet against Dabo and that team. Again, they've shown time and time again they can get it done.
I'm going to go in the 30s as well. I'm going to say 37-35 LSU.
Oh, wow.
Close.
Lone Wolf over here, Hunter. Oh, give it to me. Oh, that's great stuff. All right, national championship should be a lot of fun. Get the popcorn ready. Let's move on down to NFL playoffs, man. The Tennessee Titans go into Foxborough with the leading rusher in the league, Derrick Henry, and they absolutely wreak havoc on that number one defense for the New England Patriots. And I have a New England Patriots fan amongst us, Frank, and he's looking over his shoulder now. He's gravitating to another team that's still in it, probably. But no, I love the Titans. I love what they've done. We called this game. I had 24-17. I was very close. Frank, I think you had you were really close to the final score on it, but we both called it. Tannehill, though, looked great. 8 for 15, 72 yards, 1 TD. Just took care of the ball and picked his spots. Derrick Henry, 34 carries, 182 yards rushing, and then he caught one for 22. I mean, this team, dude. And then Fursker out of nowhere. I mean, I didn't see that coming, but I didn't have him on the fantasy line. But, man, I just don't see them going into this unbelievable high-powered offense with a crushing defense at home in Baltimore against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Frank, let's start with you. What do you think is going to happen in this one?
Well, I mean, Baltimore is a different animal, and, just because the saying goes from one of my favorite TV shows of all time, Breaking Bad, when Mike is telling, Walt and Jesse, just because you shot Jesse James doesn't make you Jesse James. Just because they took out Tom Brady and the Patriots doesn't mean that all of a sudden they're Tom Brady and the Patriots. I think it's going to be a fun game. The line is 8.5. I think the Titans will keep it close, but I think ultimately the Ravens win this game, and they're going to win the game by that range of 4 to 6. So the 8.5 points will certainly help you. I think the Titans play well. I think the running game keeps them in it. You can't throw 72 yards against the Ravens and win.
No.
I like the Ravens in this one, too. Like you said, I am a Patriots fan, so that's not why I'm predicting the Titans to lose. No, I think the Ravens, they really do have too much on offense to really stop, and then their defense has been phenomenal. I think this game will be close, but I think towards the end, fourth quarter, the Ravens pull away 2 scores.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I like what you're thinking. I'm stepping in what you're putting down there, Hunter. I agree. It's going to be a fun one to watch. I think it'll kind of be a carbon copy, a mirror image of what we've seen in Foxborough. Going to be a very similar type game. I think the X factor in this one is, do the Titans stop Ingram? It's one of those things where how much can they pound the ball? Because I believe there are going to be a lot of schemes. You know how Harbaugh is. He always fakes you out, So I think he's coming up with something to where he's going to use the option a lot more. You're going to see a lot more RPOs in this one. He's going to let the arm do some stuff there for Lamar Jackson. He's going to give him opportunities to throw the ball, and that's what's going to pull away from the Titans if that happens. But that Titans D, they're battle tested. They're pretty good defense. So I feel like this is going to be kind of a carbon copy of the Patriots game. I think we're going to see a very similar score, but I think the Ravens are going to come out on top of this one. I'm going Ravens 21, Titans 17 in this one. What about you, Hunter?
I'm going to go 24-14 Ravens.
Like it. What about you, Frankie? Vegas Frank.
I would say something similar, but I still think that the Titans cover. So I'm going to say, let's say there's more scoring. I'll say there's 30-24.
30-24. Wow, that's going to be, and that could very well happen. There's going to be, you got one A.J. Brown, and this one that didn't show up much last week, so I think we'll probably see a lot more of him in this one. They're going to need that big body out there going across the middle. It's the only way you're going to beat the Ravens D at home. They're really good at home. All right, Frank, we'll move on. We got some other playoff games. What about Kirk Cousins, though? Is that his first playoff win, I think?
Yeah, you like that.
You like that?
Captain Kirk. You got to feel for the Saints. There's got to be some type of voodoo or something going on with them down there for them to lose on the last play in 3 consecutive seasons. If you mentioned, Hunter, that Super Bowl against the Colts, if that onside kick doesn't go their direction and they lose. Is this decade like the most disappointing decade for any franchise? We go back for about 7-8 years when they lost the game to the Niners, at home. I mean, these last 3 seasons, they've had everything that could have. They got defensive pass interference, and then this year it could be offensive pass interference, but there's no review. They can't win. I mean, it's brutal.
I understand the penalty from last year's game. This year, though, I'm a little. Obviously, if you're going to be nitpicky, yes, that's offensive pass interference, but I don't think it was that big of a push-off to really affect the play, in my opinion. But, you mentioned the most disappointing decade for a team. Don't forget, they're still the Cleveland Browns.
That's true.
Who did not have a winning record at all in this decade.
This is true. I don't know. We could go down that road, that rabbit hole. But all right, let's wrap up the divisional round here. Let's go through them real quick. You don't have to give me scores. Just give me winners. I'll do a few. Vikings, Kirk Cousins going to be rolling into San Francisco against Garofalo, George Kittle, and that array of running backs there. Guys, I feel like Vikings are a great team. I think the 49ers are for real. This is going to be a really good one to watch. Going to come down it might be an overtime game, but I'm going to say the 49ers are going to pull it out at home.
I agree. I'm going with Niners in that one, too.
Niners.
We just talked about the Titans-Ravens. Texans taking on Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs. Man, I tell you, I love Watson, but my dear Watson, you're going to need Sherlock in this one. It's not going to happen. The Chiefs are going to probably prevail here, and I like this fairly high-scoring game, but you got to give it to J.J. Watt coming in with a bum arm and just shouldn't even been back this season. He made a stir. He really had the momentum pulled towards the Texans in that game last week, but I like the Chiefs in this one. What about you guys?
Oh, always. Got to go with the Chiefs. Love Patrick Mahomes. Saw him play in college.
Oh, wow. I bet that was awesome.
Oh, it was incredible.
Yeah, I'd say Chiefs. I think it's going to be too much offense, and the fact that I don't think the Texans are going to be able to score as much. I think they're going to be able to score. I just think they're going to score as much as the Chiefs, and you're going to have to outscore the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And I don't know who is going to. So, yeah, Chiefs.
The thrill,
Chiefs to the Super Bowl, though. You heard it here first.
Oh, I like it, though. We've talked. That's kind of what me and Frank have been thinking all year long, but we'll see what happens. First of all, we got to finish up with the Green Bay Packers, who just kind of snuck around all season and, just plugging away, just getting those W's. And Seahawks, they're going to see their season come to an end in Green Bay. That's Sunday game at 5:40 there Eastern time. Frank, I'm all over the Packers and Aaron Rodgers in this one. The Seahawks just don't have enough. I mean, DK Metcalf, great story. Russell Wilson, awesome quarterback. But I just feel like at Lamb, they're just not going to do it there. I mean, I just feel like the Packers have it.
I agree.
Yeah. Packers in this one at Lambeau. Seattle, their running game is still just
suspect.
It's not good enough for me to say that they can beat the Packers in Lambeau.
Yeah, you got to have a running game deep in the playoffs. There's no way around it. You're not going to make it.
Your quarterback can't be your leading rusher.
No, cannot be, and we'll say the same for the Ravens. Lamar. If they just depend on Lamar Jackson running the ball, Titans will go up there and beat them. So, and that's not going to happen. These guys know better. These coaches know better. What'd you start to comment on the Packers game, Seahawks, Frank?
Well, I was going to say that, we look at trends, obviously, we see them all the time. And, you and I have lost lots of investments based on trends.
Yes, we have.
But you look at the way that these things trend, that there's always a multiple road wins for wild card games in the first round. But when they get into the divisional round, the home team sort of holds the form.
Yes.
The last 6 Super Bowl winners have all been teams that have had a bye week. So that bodes well for these teams playing at home. I don't have a lot of confidence in the Packers, but I think that I believe in their offense more than I trust the fact that the Seahawks don't have enough of a running game. So I think that all 4 home teams are going to win. I mean, I thought I would pick a road team, but I can't make an argument to win this week.
It's a good point.
It's weird.
No, I get it. I feel the same way.
Was it the Giants that were the last team to win a Super Bowl that didn't have?
I think that's right with Eli Manning. Yeah. I think you're right.
I believe so. Yes.
We'll have to check the records. All right, guys. We're moving on. You're listening to Vegas Frank Against the Odds. We got a few more minutes here. Brought to you by JBK Network Consulting, IP Everything. Get a hold of Jim Grant over there. He will take care of your business or home. He'll do it all. I think he does it all. I'm pretty sure. Carson Williams, man, picked as a co-player of the week, Conference USA. Really filling that void. I mean, you're not going to replace Charles Bassey, but these guys are starting to figure it out. 2-0 the conference. Got UAB coming up on the 9th, and then that's an away game, and then they're on the road again at MTSU, who I think they're like 4-9 or something.
4-11.
4-11, Hunter. Now, that doesn't look like it's going to be a problem, but you don't want to overlook them. That's always going to be a good game, no matter what kind of talent's on the floor on that one. And then ODU, they're back at EA. Did Lorena Frank, the Tops, they got a shot, man. They seem like they're putting it together, don't you think?
Well, starting off the conference, conference playoff 2-0. I think they got some good momentum as they seem to kind of be, creating a new identity. Obviously, with Bassey being out, Stansbury is establishing something with them. These guys are buying in what he's selling. So I like what I'm seeing early on. There's a lot of basketball still to be played, but you want to start off on the right foot, and they seem to be doing that.
Absolutely. I think the one thing that I'm going to be watching for in these next coming games is how well does WKU do against a zone defense, because against Rice, the Hilltoppers, they got off to a great start, but then Rice adjusts from a man to his own defense, and that really allowed Rice to get back into the game. Obviously, their defense, the Hilltoppers' defense, still played great, but Rick Stansbury said after the game that was one of the first times they've seen a zone defense really this season with this group. So that's something that they have to work on going forward. And so if I'm an opposing team, I'm watching the film, seeing that, and thinking, okay, my best bet to shut them down is to run a zone defense. So we'll see how they can adjust to that going forward.
That's a good point. Frank, I'm going to give you a minute for a final thought, but we are up against it here, up against a break here. So we're going to do that, but good luck to the Tops. And then I wanted to say, awesome, we're keeping D'Angelo Malone, who I think after next season will be a number 1 round draft pick. All right, guys, let's talk a little bit about Frank. What do you got for us to wrap it up?
Well, I thought we would lead off with it. You got your coach, man. You got the Cowboys got McCarthy.
I know.
You got to be excited about that. And hiring Mike Nolan as a defensive coordinator,
I'm very excited
about him.
Yes.
It's awesome. I mean,
it is good.
It's a guy, and you know what too is that they're saying that Hitna and Kellen Moore, they're not guaranteed positions. It makes me believe that Jerry Jones is actually listening to people for once.
I think you're right.
He's actually listening. He's letting McCarthy sort of create his own staff and put these guys in place. I think it's great. Rod Marinelli won't be retained. So, I mean, they're able to make some moves. I love Rod Marinelli.
He can finally sit down, though. His daughter what?
His daughter has an Italian restaurant here in town. It's called La Strega, and it is amazing.
Oh, wow. That's a nice little tidbit, a little Vegas tidbit. Yeah, that's awesome, Frank. Great little plug there. Hey, man, appreciate it. I'm excited about the Cowboys, but I'm not going to get too excited because right now it's kind of like going from a Hyundai to an Accord or something to me. I want to go from a Hyundai to a Bentley is what I'm looking for. So he might be the Bentley. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But Raiders going to be at home with you next year, Frank. Me and Hunter might come out there and watch a game.
Oh,
I'm ready. We got lots of space.
All right, Vegas Frank with Hunter Smith, WBKO. Check him out on Facebook and Twitter. A great follow there, and catch him weekly on WBKO Channel 13. Vegas Frank against the odds every week, brought to you by JBK. We'll be right back on the Sports Web, ESPN 102.7, 104 The Score.
You're playing golf and you're going to like it.
Time to go home there, boss.
I can make it across.
Well, then do it.
We got all of that.
Why didn't you just go home? That's your home. Are you too good for your home? Answer me.
Knock it on. Let her rip.
It's in the hole. By the way, what did Mr. Webb shoot this morning?
It's time for Gary on the Green. Gary on the Green is brought to you by Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill on Old Louisville Road and online at bowlinggreenfireplace.com. Call 270-495-1131.
Welcome back to the Sports Web. Gary on the Green. Adam Gary on the Line X Hotline. WKU Lady Hilltoppers record-breaking coach. What's up, Coach?
Not much. Just ready for school to get back in.
I bet you are. I'll tell you, but you haven't had idle hands. You've been busy, and Lady Tops will be rolling back in. What's y'all's first soiree?
That's right. So opening weekend's going to be the 26th, so we still have a couple weeks, but hopefully everybody's recharging the batteries from the holidays and from the New Year. And our first tournament starts out in Jacksonville, Amelia Island, February 14th.
Oh, nice. So you guys have pretty good success down Amelia Island, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's been good to us. It's always a fun trip to take, and hopefully we can get some warm weather. Although it's not been bad here lately, so hopefully this can kind of stick around. I'd be all right with that.
Yeah, it's not been bad here lately, and especially Kentucky's been having some really good luck. Justin Thomas gets a big win start of 2020. That's nice.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean that's a true sign of perseverance to have the hook into the hazard on the last hole and still keep your wits about you and stay positive enough to come back and win in a playoff. That's awesome. 12 wins at 27 years old.
That is
only
remarkable.
4 people in the history of golf have
Really?
12 wins.
No kidding.
Sam Snead, Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, and Justin Thomas.
No kidding. Man, what
Yeah,
a
so
great
he's got
tidbit.
one more than Spieth. So he's been kind of overshadowed by Spieth his whole life.
He really
and
has.
Spieth has 11 and he has 12.
Man, what a great point. Brought to you by Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill, Louisville Road over there. Also, check out Willow Oaks up in Glasgow. I tell you, here's a good question for you. And I had someone ask me to propose this to you on Gary on the Green a couple weeks ago, and we're going to get it done today. If your club has Bermuda fairways, they can get dormy and hard to play on during inclement weather, that sort of thing during the winter. What's a couple of tips? How do you know when you need to be picking it and sweeping it and all that stuff, Adam?
Yeah, this is a tough time of year to play when it's kind of wet and dormant with the grass, but I think we can take a lesson from the winner on tour this week, Justin Thomas. They had redone the fairways out at Kapalua, and he was even kind of making jokes about it after chunking some and getting dirt on his white pants. And they kind of turned it into a plug for, polo golf. But I think that that really kind of gives you good feedback. You just have to embrace the challenge and know that, hey, this is tough right now. Let me make sure that my practice swings, I'm hitting the ground where I want to. We want the divot in front of the ball, obviously, not behind the ball. That's kind of one of the things my mentor taught me. Hit the big ball second, hit the little ball first, right? So
yeah.
I think it's a tough deal. So you got to embrace it. Obviously, play some winter rules. Get yourself a good lie.
True.
Nobody's turning any scores in for the handicaps right now. But I think it's a great time to practice and to learn, because if you can hit off of this stuff right now, then it's going to be really easy in the summertime.
Oh, man, that's great. 2 real quick questions. Are the Hilltoppers going to continue that Conference USA success heading into the next few games? And what do you think about Carson Williams filling that void, Bassie?
I know, yeah, he was big for us getting these first 2 wins in conference play. I know we're traveling down to UAB. That should be a good game. Hopefully, we can get a win. Then we have Middle on Saturday, so it's always important to beat Middle in every matchup in every sport.
And no matter what their record is, I mean, they're going to play us hard. They're going to bring the best game of the year. So you're right, man. And then finishing up on that note, I like what the Hilltoppers are going, and then I'm looking forward to seeing D'Angelo Malone back next year. I think he's a first-round draft pick. So, man, things are looking good for the Hilltoppers and the Lady Hilltopper Golf. Good luck to you. We'll talk to you before you guys head out to Amelia Island.
Perfect. Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks, but always a pleasure. Thanks for listening to the Sports Web. For Danny Hartung, Hunter Smith, Adam Gary, Vegas Frank, Casey Warner, Brown Webb here. We will see you next Tuesday. ESPN 102.7, 104 The Score.